1974 chopper. It's a 750K motor. It's in a rigid frame that's been stretched and raked. Got a girder front end. I'm going to fire this thing back up. It needs a new battery. I need to just make sure the carburetors are good. They were great when I parked it. The only thing that I thought was wrong with it when I parked it was the dwell seemed to be a little bit off on one of the banks. This is a dual point situation on this thing here. There's two sets of points and two condensers, which is why you got two coils hanging up here. But so what I need to do with this is I need to change the oil and oil filter. I'll clean the spark plugs because I know I just put them in not right before I parked it. Monkey with the carburetors a little bit, make sure they're balanced. Put the new battery in here, and it'll start on one kick. Guarantee it. It always starts on one kick. If an old motor like this, if it doesn't start on one kick, possibly two, maybe if it's cold, something's wrong with it. Because these things here, they are as reliable as a farm implement. And I'll just leave it at that. All you haters can hate all you want, but I guarantee you, I can come out here when there's a good battery in here, flip this old kicker out, womp on it one time, and it'll purr like a 750K, just like it's supposed to. So, like I said, I gotta clean the points, set the dwell. I gotta go through the carburetors just to make sure they're right. Put a new battery in there, give it a couple kicks, we'll fire right up, and we'll be back in business. And then my plan with this is to polish it up real good and find it a new home. I just don't enjoy it. I've got, on the other side of that wall, I've got a whole room full of dinosaurs, and every one of them has a suspension on them. So what I need to do is I need to find me a young man that would appreciate riding a 1974 motorcycle, and then I'll put one of my other dinosaurs on the road with a suspension, because that's something I can appreciate. I've did everything I need to do on a chopper. I don't need to do nothing else on a chopper ever again the rest of my life, except maybe take it around the block if I'm working on yours. But as far as me having one tagged and titled, I just don't see that anymore. I've just gotten past it. But with that being said, this thing rides good. If I was to keep this motorcycle, the only thing that I would do to it to make an improvement with it is, because of the length of the frame and the length of the chain, I would put a chain tensioner onto it so it would take some of that vibration out of that seriously long chain that's on the other side of this thing. But after you hear this thing run, it'll probably be a 2 or 3 part video, and you live in America and you're interested in this thing, talk to me. I'll make you a deal. Don't hate me for saying this if you live somewhere other than America, but if I was to sell this motorcycle to someone overseas, the motorcycle world in America loses another dinosaur. And I don't like doing that. It's one of those things I just don't feel good about. I'd rather pass this on to a young brother, let him have his fun with it, change it up the way he wants to, and then when he gets tired of it, he can pass it on to the next young brother. That's what I'm planning on doing with this thing. I've had my fun with it, don't get me wrong. I got some pictures of me going to rallies with it, riding it around and whatnot. I've had a good time with this bike. But seriously, I got a shaft drive motorcycle and I got a soft tail. Why would I want to ride this thing, right? Other than the cool factor. So, I've piqued your interest. Stay tuned. There'll be more. But I see a lot of things that don't seem to be getting passed on down from generation to generation properly. A lot of people nowadays, Seems like they know it all. Why would they want to whip out their phone and Google something stupid from Wikipedia or some other crackpot source, and then they know? Rather than take the time to find someone that's in their last few years of life, or in the fourth quarter of their life, or it's down to the ninth inning, or they got that last 1,000 miles they're going. Take the time to know someone like that. You would be amazed if you take the time to know a real person in real time, what they can share with you. Just the fact that someone has made it 70 years in this world, think about what they have seen. If you're 70 years old, you were born like in 1950, 1949, whatever, you know, or someone even older than that. Think of the changes we've seen. I mean, we've seen television. We've seen phones that you can actually talk on. I'm not even talking about cell phones. I'm just talking about good landlines. Cable TV. Pork you can eat without having to cook the crap out of it. Just all kinds of wild stuff. Color TV. The internet. Modern day cell phones. People in my age bracket and a little bit older, we have seen some crazy things. And we've seen a lot of good things. We've seen people land on the moon. When it happened, we've seen space shuttles disintegrate right in the air before our very eyes, especially those of us that lived in Florida at that time. Seen it happen. A lot of weird stuff has happened. That's what I'm saying, you know, don't depend on Google. Don't depend on Wikipedia or any of them other things, because if you take the time to get to know someone old, they can tell you, because they were there. Unless you're talking ancient times, then look for books that were written before 1960. If you like to read, then you'll find books that haven't been totally polluted by the new communist agenda. We've always had communists here, but they've only become really vocal and really a pain in the ass recently. I guess that part will be for the uncensored page. Highway and scratch all. But now here we are in 2019, and you can't do nothing without the World Wide Web being involved. So why fight it, right? So here we are, 1822 MC Adventures and more.